Rose, and welcome to the cafe. So today I'm going to show you guys a quick OBS Studios tutorial. So I'm kind of new to OBS. I'm not exactly good at it, but I think I've learned enough to make this tutorial to help you guys out. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to pause, rewind, do whatever you want, really. Also like and subscribe or comment if you want, but that's optional. Anyway, we're going to get into it. So first off, we're gonna zoom in to over here. We have our standard buttons. We have File. That shows a bunch of different options. I typically don't use that. We have Edit. I don't know what that does either. So not exactly the best tutorial. If you want very good tutorials, I would definitely recommend following Phlox Nessiplier. So that's Phlox for Phlox, and then Nessiplier is Nessaplier. I might have that spelling incorrect, but she's also a VTuber and is great at explaining things in much more detail. But my friend asked me to make a tutorial because she's considering getting into VTubing. So our next thing is the view and docs. So to show you the docs properly, I'm going to reset my UI. And you'll see what that does in a second. But first, we're going to make the screen smaller or not so zoomed in so you can see the full effect. So stand by real quick while I miniaturize the screen again. There's probably a faster way to do this, but I don't know it yet. So anyway, you can see my mouse. I click View, and I reset the UI. Click Yes to confirm. Basically, it hides additional docs, and I need to unhide them from the docs menu to see them. So now this is what you're typically going to start with when you first get OBS. And you can configure it to how you like. So here you have your controls. You have your settings, which has, standard advanced settings, appearance, you can change the theme, output, audio, figure out how you want your stuff hooked up to OBS, such as your desktop audio here, or your microphones. What if you have different microphones? You're going to want it on the correct microphone. So, there's also virtual camera studio mode. I haven't used that yet. And then start recording. And usually there's a start streaming button. But since I am not, since I'm live right now, that's not showing up. So, I'm going to move over. Next we have scene transitions. So over here is your scenes. And you can choose how long it takes for when you switch between your scenes, how long it takes for the next scene to load. So right now it's at 350 milliseconds. I will change it to, let's go with 1000. There should be a noticeable difference. And then I will go to my mainstream tab. And you see part of the Windows stream. So what I had it at before. You see it slowly disappear and then fade into the next scene. Now let's make this even longer, and we'll switch to one of my music things that I use. Yeah, you can see me fade away slowly, as well as the music fades. So it's a cool effect. You can set it to however you like. I like to keep it at the basic, so I'll stick to the 350 it was set at originally. Alright, next is we'll go with window capture or VTuber. So for VTuber, that is the game capture. You'll see that under sources. So you have application audio capture, which is still in beta mode. I have not used that. Audio input capture, haven't used that. Audio output, browser, color, display capture, game capture, image slideshow, media, scene, text, and video capture device, and window capture device, as well as group. And I guess there's a different text type too. So for example, if we were to open color, we would select a color. I'll go with purple for now. And we have this purple background. But if we don't want it there, we can always just move it. We move the color. You see the little paintbrush. And put it there. Okay, but now, for now, we'll remove it because I never use it. So, currently we're on display capture. Now, display capture captures your whole monitor. So, that's why we have this infinite mirror effect, because I'm on OBS currently. If I were to change my screen or whatever, or click on Google, you would see it here. And then you would also see my background that I use for VC Face, for my VTuber avatar. Now, window capture is sort of like it. You could capture, windows on Google, or in some cases, certain games. Like, due to, I believe the settings, at least that's what Google has said, for Roblox, you can't use game capture to capture it for some reason. So, what you have to do is have the Roblox app rather than the website browser version, and then have it under window capture to capture the window. So, here, if I were to switch to it and hide my display capture, we have Google. So that's an example. Game capture can also capture games. Kind of self-explanatory. So I will start up a game and then I can switch my VTuber model under it because we have specific window usually that pops up when you create a game capture. So I'll make one, for example, and you can name it or add existing. So for example, I'll name it game capture. Not the most creative title, but once you have that set up, you have this big screen. And then you can adjust it however you want. So let's move. So right now we have the game capture on, and everything else is hidden. But if I open up Peek, then it pops up eventually once the game loads in. And I'm gonna hide this real quick. Just wanted to double check something. and we wait for Peak to load. Alright, it's loaded. So now we go to Game Capture and select it, and it should pop up. And because I have it on the first source layer, it covers up everything. So I would want to move it past here and change how much my screen shows of our game capture and move it up. And now we have it visible for you guys, but also where it's not blocking the other content. So with that, with the docs, or not docs, actually, I'll get to the docs later. With the sources and scenes, you want to play around with what you want your audience to see. And remember to layer it. So think of it like a cake or tiramisu, I don't know, whatever you feel like, or parfait. Basically, you want your main background or whatever at the very bottom. You want your special effects on top of that, your gameplay wherever you want, but on top of that. But you want it below your special effects. So if your audience triggers a redeem reward or whatnot, then it actually shows up and isn't covered by the game. So I will use this for example. Let's see. So we'll put the game capture ahead of HUD FX, which is what I use for channel point redeems usually for my audience to put silly clips or whatnot. So we'll go with sorry, I had to sneeze a bunch. Sorry about that. We'll go with this clip from Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello! You hear it, but you don't see it. But if I moved it to here, one second, chat. Worst time to start sneezing. While I'm trying to explain stuff. Okay. Alright, I need to blow my nose, so I will show you guys how to mute your mic. It's simple. You click this. Now, even though I just blew my nose into my mic, you guys shouldn't have heard it because the audio or my mic area was muted. I could also adjust the settings to just have it at a smaller pace. So I can be talking like this at my normal volume and keep talking, but you hear my voice getting quieter. So now we go back up. Alright, so now I will do another redeem. This time the HUD FX effect is in front of the game. So you can hear it and now see it.
Inconceivable!
Exactly. So next on our list is we're going to close out a peak, and I'm going to readjust my docs to how I prefer it. So currently it is at a level where it shows the whole stream. Personally, I like to have it set up in a different way. So I will open up the docs and I will press chat so my chat can be seen, and I will move it to over here. And it can show my chat history, who's triggered what redeem, stuff like that. Another doc I personally like to use is stream information. And then I typically put my stream information right here. And finally, I have my Twitch stats. And I put it right here. And then I move my sources to right here and my scenes to right here. Typically, it's more. See if I can do this right. That's how we want it. Okay, it's not perfect because normally I have my stream information a bit higher. There we go. Now that's how I usually have it and want it. But it's completely up to you what you choose to do for your stream. So, another thing is scene collection. I don't know about that or about the tools. Help, I would assume, you check your files and stuff if stuff goes wrong. Again, I'm not the best at that, so I would recommend checking out another person's tutorial video for additional questions you have about OBS Studios. For now, this is just the very basics. So, with scenes, basically your sources go into your scenes, like ingredients in a cake. So, if I were to go with my starting soon scene, I have two sources. I have a media source for the music and a media source for the background. That was supposed to switch it over. What happened? Oh, I have display capture on, that's why. My bad. But I can also turn the music down. Over here. Oh wait, I need to show you guys that. I felt like the music was a bit too high when I first started it, so I changed it to about halfway. Here's the full volume. Seems a bit too loud, right? And then I also have the same for my Be Right Back scene, except I don't have the display capture on, so you'll see this. But if I add the display capture, that can show you guys the flare, which is the name of the song, and the Be Right Back visual. Along with the name for the starting soon stuff. And because I moved it down, now you can just see the visual and audio aspect. So for now, I'm going to remove the display capture on my starting soon and my Be Right Back. Now I go back to my Windows stream. So here I have all of my notifications. Let me just zoom in real quick. So I have a notification for if someone gives me bits. We haven't tested it yet, actually. A follow alert, a raid alert, and the HUD FX, as well as a game capture and a VTuber, as well as a PNG model. Usually I use Reactive for that, which is also a browser source, but since I no longer need a PNG, because I've moved on to VTubing, I can remove it to free up space. So another thing I have is a timer. So right now it's just set to countdown, or countdown is over, because I started it when I came in. This is a automatic timer. So if I refresh it, in theory, it starts over again. So that's set to 10 minutes. But for now, we'll hide it. And I will explain to you guys about the timers and such in other videos. But for now, I will just show you quick behind the scenes for the timer. Basically, with the browser source, this little globe you see here is basically any source that you use from the internet that you want for your stream. So basically, you need the URL, and then it shows up on your screen. And then you can adjust it however you want. And I believe that's all I have for you guys. I guess please comment if you have any questions. I'm going to quickly use this text feature as well, just to give you guys the name of the YouTuber slash VTuber that I think does much better tutorial videos. So, I have her name here, Flox Multiplier. Go check her out. She's pretty great. So, in the meantime, I'll delete the text. You can pause it if you want, since I'm uploading this to YouTube. And yeah, now I have everything I need or want. So now I'll just remove the display capture. And now I have it set to whatever. So now it's back to window capture. And I have my other scenes that you saw previously. I have the spin scene, and I also have my main stream, which is what I typically stream from. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully some of you find it helpful, and let me know. Have a wonderful day.